So, welcome to another edition on Wednesday of Lunchtime Learnings. I'm absolutely thrilled and delighted to be joined by the most energetic, infectious person that I know in the property industry, Alex Tan, who's the Regional Sales Director from Andrews, who is looking to be the Vice President of Propertymark NAEA and is standing for election there. So welcome to the latest edition, Alex. Again, welcome back, I should say. Thanks very
I
much
am
for coming.
delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Stephen. I really do appreciate it. And you're a busy man, back to back today.
I know I am. I don't know why everybody's chosen me to have a chat, but I am very happy to.
Because
So,
you're fabulous. I've thoroughly enjoyed our last podcast. So I definitely wanted to speak with you.
oh, and
Top of
that
the
is
list, I told you.
top of the list. You,
Genuinely. Not
you
sales
say that
spiel.
you say that to everyone who does podcasts.
I don't, I'm very selective.
So one of the questions I've had before we start and we talk about Propertymark and what's going on in the sales market is, where do you get your infectious energy and passion for property from? Because if we can sprinkle this magic on everybody, the world is going to be a better place.
Lots of coffee. It was funny actually. If I'm in my Bishopston branch today, and one of my negotiators, Mo, asked me that very question. So, where do you get your energy from, Alex? I said, lots of coffee, Mo. I have 2 coffees before I leave the house, and then I definitely need a third or fourth to keep me going. I'm just always a glass half full person. You have to see the positive in everything, and I think that that is so key for me. Is just being able to make sure that you've got high energy and just enthusiastic about things. I think it's the only way to approach life because it would be boring otherwise and it would be pretty dire.
Where, where's it come from?
I don't know. I think I've always been that upbeat, bubbly person. And I think I said to you before, actually, it's not for everybody. Some people think, oh, she's a bit too much, or it's too early in the morning. But I'm just me, and I think it's one of those things that you don't want to dampen your sparkle, or you don't want to change to be able to not be your authentic self. And that's something I feel really strongly about. Is just to be you.
Brilliant, thank you. So I decided to do a little poll this morning in
Yeah.
my local Facebook group just to see who had heard of Propertymark NAEA. And 50% of people, and I appreciate it's a really small sample, 50% people had never heard of Propertymark NAEA. So how do you get that message out there? What Propertymark NAEA is doing, and actually not only to the general public, how do you get that out to estate agents as well?
I think it's such an important and such a good question because Propertymark has over 17,500 members. And I am a relatively new kid on the block when it comes to the Propertymark world. And it's really interesting because, like you said, there's hardly any people that know how significant it is. Even the members itself, it transpires in terms of how much it can support the members, which is pretty mind blowing. And I think in terms of people knowing about Propertymark, when you look at the ALA, so the lettings equivalent of National Estate NAEA, it's really interesting that there seems to be a lot more people that are members and active than on the estate agency side. And I'm still learning a lot in terms of what Propertymark will offer its members and how it's evolving. And that's what I'm excited to be a part of. And because you have a 3-year presidency, if you like, you are able to learn the ropes and speak to members and see what they want and see what they need. But there's so many things that Propertymark do, but it would be my job and my mission to make sure that people know exactly what Propertymark is, what they stand for, and like you said, not just to the existing members, although they do pay their membership and they want to get value out of that. So that's why I see myself as that middle person to be able to communicate with them to see what do they want, what do they need, where are the gaps, and to be able to add value, but also to make sure that I act as a brand ambassador to make sure that other people, other agents know about Propertymark and how they can benefit from membership as well. So that would be my priority, just as your poll said, really, Stephen, that to make sure people know Propertymark and what it can do for them. So that is on my priority list in terms of what I would like to achieve if I should be lucky enough to become vice president of NAEA for Propertymark.
Okay, so what are the actual benefits of being a member?
I think first and foremost, from what I found, is the network and the people that you can speak to in terms of being able to see their experiences within the industry. And because they are so on, on the pulse with everything, there's a knowledge hub. So anything new, any new legislations, anything that's happening in the market, any assistance that you need, and anything that you can think of that you would require support of in the estate agency world and the letting side, etc., Propertymark has got it. And it also, the conferences, anybody that's been to a conference would know how beneficial those conferences are in themselves, to be able to spend, again, a whole day speaking to so many different people and parts of the business, to be a really good refresher, which I think is so invaluable. And the helpline, I think that's one of the biggest things for keeping your, obviously keeping your business compliant. So that is massive for sure.
Okay, lovely. So I'm sure it's not just you that's going up there. You're
Yeah,
against a very strong competitor.
I am
Um,
indeed.
if
Mary
people
Lou.
if people are watching this, I know Mary Lou, and I know Mary Lou's exceptional as well.
She
Why
absolutely is
should,
phenomenal.
why should people vote for Alex Tan?
So, first and foremost, like you said, Mary Lou is exceptional, and I feel really privileged to be up against her. She's such a strong candidate, and she is absolutely lovely as well. And it's really nice to see the bond that we've created, even though we're up against each other. But I do feel very blessed because she's got a wealth of experience, and I think from my side, I mentioned earlier about being a new kid on the block when it comes to Propertymark. I think that I can look at it with a fresh set of eyes. I can bring that energy and that enthusiasm in terms of being able to speak to the people. And I like to think that people can approach me and I am accessible, so that I am genuinely here to listen to what the members need and see any gaps, because I haven't been there. I've only been a Propertymark member for over a year, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the ins and outs and just seeing what I can bring to the mix, but also, as I mentioned, speaking to our existing members, but bringing new people into the fold as well. And I think that with the way that I work with people and connect with people, I do think that that's a very strong trait that I can bring to have a bit of a following, would be my view.
Well, you know what? I know you've got an amazing following from just some of the comments I keep on seeing absolutely everywhere, which is incredible. And we don't want to be biased, as
No,
I'm
absolutely.
sure Mary Lou Press does as well.
She certainly
I
does.
see some great comments from Mary Lou as well. To have two exceptional candidates, God, everybody, you've got your work
And
cut
two
out
women
there.
as well, which I'm loving. Two women there too.
Good, fantastic, really good. So let's move away from Propertymark and let's talk about the sales market. So what are you finding at the moment? I'm constantly reading in the press that property prices are going to drop by 30%. I'm constantly seeing, and I understand this now, that there are a shortage of buyers out there. Mortgage rates are rising. Let's talk about interest rates going to 6%. We're seeing lenders now pulling products as well. What's going on? Here you go, Bruce Waters. Come on, Team Tan. Here we
Oh
go.
yes, Bruce. Love Bruce. He's an
Great. So
Andrews, man,
coming
mighty
back.
Bruce.
There you go.
So
So coming back, what's going on in the property market? How are you finding it where you are?
it is a really interesting market. I think we've been very tested over the past few months. We had a great, amazing first quarter. I think there was a great appetite in the market. There were lots of people wanting to buy and sell their property, and it was quite unexpected after the mini budget in Q4 where it came to a standstill. So I think that was a surprise. And then obviously with the mortgage rates and how they peaked at 6%, there was a lot of people that if they were on the fence, they wouldn't pursue it. And I think well, in the market now, there is activity in terms of buyers and sellers out there, but there's still people are being cautious, definitely. And I think that's where we are at the moment. I would say the main issue that we have is being able to get them over the line, to be able to get the exchanges through. Thankfully, they're not falling out of bed. It's not a case of that the withdrawal rate has gone sky high. It's just a conveyancing process, which I know that a lot of people that are in the property industry are experiencing. Um, but I would just say it is very strange that you have to just be adaptable and be able to move as and when certain changes happen, because there's so much noise, Stephen, and like you said, that you'll have people saying that prices are going up, prices are going down, that it's all conflicting. So I think that just is confusing, even for people in the industry, let alone the general public.
Yeah, and I think what I'm seeing is now a lot of agents are doing videos locally in their area, what's actually going
Yeah.
on, and talking about that and saying, you know what, actually there are properties coming on the market. They are coming on at the right price and they are selling at the right price, which is important to educate people that there is a market out there.
You're so spot on, and I love that because, like you said, I know that Angie's put one out, Michelle's put one out recently in terms of that localized market report, and it's powerful because they genuinely know on the ground rather than widespread and the scaremongering again, unfortunately.
Okay, so you talked about their sales are taking longer to go through. Are there any tips that you can give to people that are listening or watching as to try and get those sales through quicker?
Have a bit of compassion for everybody involved. I think you've got the buyers, the sellers, the solicitors, the mortgage advisors, everybody that touches that chain, because everybody can get frustrated. And when you have mortgage deadlines pending as well, the heat is on. And I think that it's just being able to work together as effectively as possible. But I think that's the thing. It is tricky, and it's being able to just make sure that you've got all eyes on it and hands on it and help each other rather than have some friction. We were talking about hips earlier, back in the day when we had obviously hips, and being able to put certain things in place to make sure that we can speed up the actual transaction time, because on average you're looking at 4 or 5 months for something that would be relatively smooth sailing without throwing. There they go, Sherlock and Chewie. Oh, where you would be bringing in obviously everybody else into the mix.
The madhouse is starting.
It's comforting to me, these sounds from the last one.
Yeah, it's all right. You know them now, so
I
they're
know them.
they're they're raving fans for you as well.
Love it.
Good. Okay. So I know time is really precious for you. So I'm going to say thank you very much for giving up your time. If people want to get hold of you, if they want to vote for you, how do they go about and do that, please?
Please reach out to me on LinkedIn so that I can send you the direct link to vote for me. And I just want to say to everybody that has voted so far for Team Tan, and been just amazing. The support has been really overwhelming, and everybody has been so lovely. And I've really enjoyed the journey, regardless of the outcome. So I'm just very thankful for everybody that has reached out, connected, and voted. And if you haven't yet, vote Team Tan.
Love that. Alex, thank you very much. Really grateful for your
Thank
time.
you.
Good
Really
luck.
appreciate
One
it.
last final question. When does the voting close?
Voting closes on the 28th of June. So not too long now. So you won't get those bombarded LinkedIn posts about campaigning. Megan put a great post today just to say in terms of it's relentless, but hopefully it will pay off in the end.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks so much for your time. I'm going to
Thank
wish
you,
you massive
Stephen.
success and continue what you're doing.
Thank you
Keep
so
on giving
much.
that infectious energy to absolutely brilliant. Love it.
Thank you so much. Lovely to
My
see
pleasure.
you.
You too. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.